So first show I played with you guys was in January of 2019.
We've decided
So
it doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but I feel like I've known you.
Yeah, I feel
kind
like
of
it was longer than
I
that.
feel like that was a long ass time ago
Two years.
to disagree
2 years.
with you slightly, but um, anyway, by the January of 2019, you all had been together for about a semester at that point.
No, longer.
Maybe
We started spring of 2018.
Spring of 2018.
was
I mean,
this
it
as
it
Bofa
was,
proper?
No,
or was
not
this
no, we had
Tecumseh,
So we
perhaps?
Tecumseh started fall of 2017.
Give us some insight into Tecumseh,
Right.
the Lost Days.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fall of 7.
Or no, spring of 2017.
Probably spring of
It was my
17.
second semester first year.
Yeah, probably spring of 17. Yeah.
What was going on in those days? What was the scene like, and what was
Let's
What was
see.
going
So
on?
that was actually a bit of an interesting endeavor because Bofa almost formed back then.
Mm.
But
we were trying to get Julian then.
so I think Sam actually decided to go in a different direction, and I was a little first year who really liked Sam's playing and was willing to go with whatever his vision was.
How
So
did you hear it
I
first? How did you
so I
guys?
met Brendan because he was right across the
Yeah.
hall from me. And we
Mhm.
became good friends and started playing music. And I met Julian through Brendan because Julian was, best buds in
Yep.
high school with Brendan.
And then Julian was.
And
in
then-
the flesh.
Yeah. And then I rushed the spring of my first year and was most interested in the fraternity that Julian was in because, I looked up to Julian. I
As we
still
all do.
As I still do.
Yeah.
And I met Sam at a jam that was like a little informal rush event it was like Sam, the current president, this guy named Carter Levinson, and
Was Jake
Ben
President
Laderberg.
Was Jake there?
Yeah, Jake Singh, who ended up being a original Bofa member, although he wasn't in Tecumseh.
Guitar player then drummer.
Yeah,
Pre-Mo.
and Ben Laderberg from Kendall Street Company, where that was the lineup for this jam session.
Huh.
That's
And
fun.
yeah, me and Sam really hit it off. I was bringing the funk, I guess, playing some clav, and Sam was like, "Ish."
Yeah.
I didn't even like Fish.
No, I know.
Like the Dead. And
Yeah.
Sean was
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
probably wearing tie-dye, so I was like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I was
cool.
a huge Deadhead
course.
and still am. But yeah, then we immediately started talking that we should jam and start a band. And Julian had it in his head that this band would be me, Sam, Brendan, and him, which as you know, is one of the
Yep.
original Bofa lineup pretty much.
Without a drummer.
Well, no, we just didn't have a drummer in mind yet. But he just
Yeah.
wanted that to be the starting point for a band.
Gotcha.
And yeah, but then Sam had a roommate at the time, this guy Trip Sizik, and he decided to Trip Sizik. He decided to
Get all
go in a
that.
different direction and form Tecumseh and the Prophet, later shortened to Tecumseh.
I do
around-
like that name
yeah.
a lot.
Profit was too long.
Yeah, it's a cool name though.
I like to come.
Yeah.
Def.
But yeah, that lasted about a year, and then we
went through spring and then fall, all the way through the winter. And then I don't know what.
it was definitely spring of
Oh,
2018.
we lost JL. We had a drummer JL Michaud. I don't know if he couldn't do it the next semester, so then it just kind of like fell apart.
Is that what happened?
I think
That's what happened with Ross.
No, and then we started both.
Right. But I thought that we jumped ship on Tecumseh mostly for like wanting to play with people we were better friends with, and just eventually thinking that we meshed better with, especially Julian, and then later on with Brendan too.
I think it just kind of didn't line up with people's schedules. So
It's good that we're clearing it up now.
Yeah. we wanted to keep playing, so ended up starting Bofa. Julian was abroad, so we didn't have him at first.
Right.
Did we have him? No, we started in the fall. We had two bands. We had Tecumseh and Bofa going in the fall
Really?
Wow.
with Jake
Okay.
In the fall of what?
of 2017.
No. Bofa didn't start till spring of 2018. I don't think.
Julian was in the band, and then he went abroad.
You're right.
And then we graduated in 2019.
Yeah, you're right. All right, no, we did start in the fall of 2017.
Yeah, so that puts a hole in
That didn't
everything.
take
you just
much,
said.
No, that puts a hole in what you said about the schedules and stuff.
That's why we stopped playing with Tecumseh, is because JL was like, I can't do it this semester.
Fair. But we also had already started talking about we like Bofa more.
Ah, You knew where your heart was by that point.
We
Okay.
started Bofa, and then had a rotating lineup till the fall, and then we.
And where were you guys playing primarily at this point? Was it the
Coops.
normal circuit? Yeah.
the
Okay.
Had we
normal
hit-
circuit
Had we
of
hit
Coops.
Coops yet, or I
Yeah.
thought? Okay, so yeah, Tecumseh didn't really play at Coops. We more
Yeah, we
played like
did.
once or twice. It
Me and
wasn't-
you played at Coops solo. Like
Oh
just
yeah,
us.
but I
And
didn't
then-
really count that as
And
Tecumseh.
then we just started like saying no, we won't do solo, but we'll.
And yeah, that
play
was the
band.
summer before Bofa formed when we were playing every Thursday night at Coops.
Yeah.
And
And then Bofa formed, and then what was I just saying? Rotating lineup
Rotating
throughout the
lineup.
spring,
The re-
and then like I don't know how many drummers we had. We had Jake, we had Ross.
so yeah, it started with
We-
Jake. Jake started on drums. Then
Yeah.
Julian went abroad, and Jake switched to guitar. Then we got Ross,
Ross.
and then
Ross couldn't play the fall.
yeah.
Did we have Tyler then?
Nah, I think Tyler was
yet.
post Jamal.
Tyler was. So we didn't have anybody for a gig one night, and then I was like, oh, I might know this friend from home that I play baseball and basketball with, who's really good at drums.
Played basketball.
Huh?
You played basketball?
Middle school. We're talking 12 years old. Yeah.
Well, that's something. That's
Yeah. Back in the day, I was
Yeah.
a big man, 5'8" at 12 years old.
there you go.
And then I stopped growing.
Banging down low.
Yeah, man. But then I just texted Jamal. I was like, I don't know if you have free time, but like,
For that night?
yeah, I think it was like the day
Wow.
before or something, or maybe it might have been like a couple days before, but it was really short notice. And he was like, yeah, I'm down, and I like drove down there and picked him up, and then we thought I convinced him because I was like, the gig is between Charlottesville and Lynchburg. It won't be that far. I'll drive you straight home.
Where was it?
I didn't know this. It got moved to like Waynesboro,
Mm.
and then we like showed up at the vineyard between Lynchburg and Charlottesville, and it was like pouring rain, and like I barely had one bar of service. We had to like drive back up the mountain, like get a bar of service. Called the president of the fraternity, and he was like, "Oh no, like it's moved to like Waynesboro." And I was like, "Oh fuck." So we ended up driving there. Jamal came and like stayed the night in Charlottesville, and then seemed like he liked it, so he chose to keep coming back. So we had
Man.
Jamal for a while.
And then the second gig that we ever, and that gig went very smoothly. He was phenomenal. And
He's
the
the-
second gig we ever played with him was probably maybe the most people we've ever played for. It was the Young Alumni Reunion
Oh,
Yar
man, yeah.
at Croze Pizza, and it was packed the whole night. And you might need to cut around this too because third mention, but
Crushing it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
Of
crushing
course.
it. He was pulling out all
crushing
sorts of crazy stops. Like he was like during Frankenstein, he was like, boom, ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And we were like picking up on it.
I'll take
too.
your word for it, but
It was
It
good.
was good. You had to be there.
yeah. Yeah.
There's a video on Facebook somewhere.
It was very easy to believe, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that happened, but it was a good show.
yeah. I
Sure.
made that up.
One way or another, great show. Yeah.
And then we had Jamal was gone at the
Mhm.
beginning of January, and then we hit up John. Someone did. Brendan, maybe?
Yeah, probably would have
Yeah,
been.
we had a
Yeah.
phase where Jamal couldn't do a whole semester, and we had this guy Tyler,
Yeah.
and we also had
He couldn't do some gigs or something.
yeah, there were a few, and that's when John started playing with us. Actually,
Mhm.
was that semester when Jamal was
Right.
completely not available, and we had for the one big weekend of our album release show, and the opening up for Drake Bell, and like the first Navy Ball that we played,
Mm.
we actually
It was
got
one weekend, right?
yeah, it was a big weekend. We actually got this guy Sam Sabel, another Sam, who me and Julian had met because well, actually I met him first year in an astronomy group, but that's beside the point. But we met him again because we were playing with this local musician Asher McLaughlin,
Oh, yes.
and he was the drummer for that group. So we had him fill in for that weekend. So we've had a
Yeah.
lot of drummers.
Yeah, man. Drummers are hard to come by.
Yeah.
In this,
John being our second
these
favorite.
times. Second favorite in terms of,
He's not really our second favorite.
yeah, I was about to say, maybe
favorite slide
maybe not in
guitar.
terms of like skill level, but I'd like to think
Definitely as a person.
presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Presence.
Oh yeah. As a person, might be number one. It's close
Yeah.
between you and Jamal.
Mm,
Mm.
We'll see.
Both
That's good to
homies.
hear.